All right, let's get real for a minute. We need to talk about that little chat box we've all come to love. You know, the one where you brainstorm, you write, maybe you even vent about your day. Well, it turns out our favorite AI buddy might just have a massive privacy problem.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. That thing is a snitch. Think about it like this. You've got this super helpful friend, right? Gives you amazing advice, helps you with everything, but secretly, they're recording every single word you say. Not exactly the kind of friend you want to keep around.
It's kind of weird when you think about it, isn't it? In the real world, we'd never just hand our diary over to a total stranger. But online, we pour our most private thoughts into a chatbot owned by a giant corporation without even blinking. So what's going on here? Why are we so trusting? Let's pull back the curtain.
Okay, first things first. We got to understand what's actually happening on the back end when you're using the free version of ChatGPT. And fair warning, what you're about to hear might make you a little uncomfortable.
It's a harsh way to put it, but it's not wrong. Every time you type something in, you are basically part of this giant global experiment. You're not just a user getting answers, you're actually the raw material that's making the AI smarter.
So what counts as this training data? Well, it's pretty simple. Everything. That rant about your boss you typed out? Yep, training data. That half-baked business plan for $1 million app? You got it, training data. It's all getting vacuumed up and fed back into the machine.
Just when you thought, okay, well, at least it's just a machine reading my stuff, I've got some bad news for you. There's another layer to this onion, and it's a big one.
Yes, you heard me right. Real, live human beings, contractors for OpenAI, can and do read your private chats. Their job is to check for quality and safety. But let that sink in. A complete stranger could be reading your most personal, unfiltered thoughts.
Now look, this isn't just some vague, theoretical privacy issue. This stuff has tangible, real-world consequences that could seriously blow up in your face, affecting your job, your ideas, and your personal life.
So, let's break this down into 3 specific, what you might call, oh crap scenarios. These are the kinds of situations that should really make you think twice before you copy and paste sensitive info into that chat window.
First up, the professional nightmare. If you handle any kind of confidential info for your job, if you're a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, using ChatGPT to summarize a sensitive document is a huge, huge risk. You're basically uploading company secrets to a third-party server. That's not just a bad look, it could get you fired.
And what about your own brilliant ideas? You know, you're workshopping this amazing concept for a new business with the AI. But remember, that conversation becomes training data. Your unique idea gets absorbed into the model, which could then spit out a version of it for the next person who asks. How can you be sure your idea is still yours? And then there's this one, which is just deeply personal. A lot of us use ChatGPT almost like a therapist or a digital diary. We share things we'd never say out loud. But that vulnerability to the system, it's just another data point to be stored, analyzed, and maybe, just maybe, read by some random person. That just feels wrong.
Okay, that was a lot of doom and gloom, I know. But here's the good news. You are not helpless here. Not at all. There are some really simple, concrete things you can do right now to take back control.
This right here is the big one. The single most important thing you can do. It's basically like turning on incognito mode for ChatGPT. It's called the nuclear option for a reason. It works. It's super easy, and I'm going to show you exactly what it does. So, look at this. It's a really clear trade-off. With the chat history turned off, yeah, you lose that handy sidebar with all your old conversations. But look at what you gain. Your data is no longer used for training, and your chats are automatically deleted after 30 days. For anything even remotely sensitive, that is a trade you should make every single time. And hey, beyond that one big toggle, you can build a few other really good habits. Get in the habit of just deleting old chats. If you're pasting in a document, take a second to swap out real names for placeholders, like Person A or Company X. And this should go without saying, but I have to say it, never, ever type in personally identifiable information. Your social security number, your address, your bank info, keep it out of there. Of course, there's another way to get privacy, but this one's not a setting you can just flip. It's a subscription, and it's going to cost you about $20 a month. So what are you getting for that $20? Well, besides a fancier AI, you're getting privacy as the default. OpenAI promises not to use your chats to train their models. You're essentially paying to buy back your own privacy. Okay, so now that we know how to protect ourselves, let's just zoom out for a second. Let's talk about the bigger picture this all points to, because it's important.
And here's the real kicker.
You could argue that the burden of all this shouldn't even be on you in the first place. You have to actively dig through settings and become a privacy expert just to protect yourself, because the system, by default, is designed to collect as much data as it possibly can.
Which leads us to this massive question. In a truly ethical world, shouldn't privacy be the standard? Shouldn't these companies have to ask for our permission to use our data instead of making us hunt for the opt-out button? It's something we really need to think about.
And we'll end with this. At the end of the day, your ideas, your work, your private thoughts, they have value. They are uniquely yours. So before you hit enter on that next prompt, just take a second. Use the tools we talked about and make a conscious choice to protect what's yours. Don't just give it all away for free.